forgot how to speak for a second. Please excuse my music. I know you'll be able to hear it. It's just doing whatever on and on. Whatever. Today, because I'm just not really feeling it right now, and that's okay. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Now after this, it came to pass that David smote the Philistines and subdued them, and took Gath and her towns out of the hand of the Philistines. And he smote Moab, and the Moabites became David's servants and brought gifts. And David smote Hadarezer, king of Zobah, unto Hamath, as he went to establish his dominion by the river Euphrates. And David took from him 8,000 chariots, and 7,000 horsemen, and 20,000 footmen. David also houghed all the chariot horses, but reserved of them 100 chariots. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to help Hadarezer, king of Zobah, David slew of the Syrians 22,000 men. Then David put garrisons in Syria, Damascus, and the Syrians became David's servants and brought gifts. Thus the Lord preserved David whithersoever he went. And David took the shields of gold that were on the servants of Hadarezer, and brought them to Jerusalem. Likewise from Tibhath and from Chun, cities of Hadarezer, brought David very much brass, wherewith Solomon made the brazen sea, and the pillars, and the vessels of brass. Now when Tou, king of Hamath, heard how David had smitten all the host of Hadarezer, king of Zobah, he sent Hadaram, his son, to King David to inquire of his welfare, and to congratulate him, because he had fought against Hadarezer and smitten him. For Hadarezer had war with Tou, and with him all manner of vessels of gold and silver and brass. Them also King David dedicated unto the Lord with the silver and the gold that he brought from all these nations, from Edom, and from Moab, and from the children of Ammon, and from the Philistines, and from Amalek. Moreover, Abishai the son of Zeruiah slew of the Edomites in the valley of Salt 18,000. And he put garrisons in Edom, and all the Edomites became David's servants. Thus, so David executed judgment and justice among all his people. And Joab the son of Zeruiah was over the host, and Jehoshaphat the son of Ahilud recorder, and Zadok the son of Ahitub, and Absa was scribe. And Benaiah the son of Jehoiada was over the Cherethites and the Pelethites, and the sons of David were chief about the king. I'm sitting however I want to sit right now, and I forget that we do that because I'm wearing a dress right now, and I cross my legs a lot. I've learned to do that, but it's more comfortable for me to do that when I feel like it. But genuinely, I just sit like a dude sometimes. But I don't believe that I'm sitting more like a dude right now. I'm just chilling, and that's kind of an issue. But I'm not changing it. I want people to adapt to me because I'm tired of trying to adapt to them. Alright. Pass after this that Nahash the king of children, that is not correct. Now it came to pass after this that Nahash the king of the children of Ammon died, and his son reigned in his stead. And David said, I will shew kindness unto Hanun the son of Nahash, because his father shewed kindness to me. And David sent messengers to comfort him concerning his father. So the servants of David came into the land of the children of Ammon, to Hanun to comfort him. Excuse me. But the princes of the children of Ammon said to Hanun, Thinkest thou that David doth honor thy father, that he hath sent comforters unto thee? Are not his servants come unto thee for to search and to overthrow and to spy out the land? That was going to be like a question mark in my mind, but it just sounded so crazy. It was a pitch change. Wherefore Hanun took David's servants and shaved them and cut off their garments in the midst hard by their buttocks. I meant to say buttocks. I don't know what happened there. I think it is actually said buttocks, but like I don't say it like I don't speak like that. We'll just say it like that. Oh, there the music go. And sent them away. Then there went certain and told David how the men were served, and he sent to meet them, for the men were greatly ashamed. And the king said, Tarry at Jericho until your beards be grown, and then return. And when the children of Ammon saw that they had made themselves odious, offensive, disgusting, or repugnant. It's funny because like we don't need to look at the definitions, because wisdom really does tell you everything that you need to know. Even if you don't know what a word actually means, you get the feeling off of it. You get its intuition, literally. And it's like whatever you were thinking that it would mean, like it's not really like what does it mean. It's like how does it feel? Like how does that word feel? And I like that a lot because it applies in every situation, which is why I like to check like what the word means just to see. And then I'm glad that we know what this word means, because like daggone it, they ain't got the definition in this. But I'm glad they had that one, and I'm glad it was correct. I don't think they wrote it that way in the book of David. So that's interesting. Let's see. That they made themselves odious to David. Hanun and the children of Ammon sent 1,000 talents of silver to hire them chariots and horsemen out of Mesopotamia and out of Syria, Makkah, and out of Zobah. Or like they'll have the definition, but it's nowhere near the definition that they used it in the Bible for. You can it just came straight out of a dictionary. Why did you put it there? So they hired 30 and 2,000 chariots, and the king of Makkah and his people who came and pitched before Medeba, and the children of Ammon gathered themselves together from their cities and came to battle. And when David heard of it, he sent Joab and all the host of the mighty men. And the children of Ammon came out and put the battle in array before the gate of the city, and the kings that were come by them. And the kings that were come were by themselves in the field. Now when Joab saw that the battle was set against him before and behind. Now when Joab saw that the battle was set against him before and behind, he chose out of all the choice of Israel and put them in array against the Syrians. And the rest of the people he delivered unto the hand of Abishai his brother, and they set themselves in array against the children of Ammon. And he said, If the Syrians be too strong for me, then thou shalt help me. But if the children of Ammon be too strong for thee, then I will help thee. Be of good courage, and let us behave ourselves valiantly for our people and for the cities of our God, and let the Lord do that which is good in his sight. So Joab and the people that were with him drew nigh before the Syrians unto the battle, and they fled before him. And when the children of Ammon saw that the Syrians were fled, they likewise fled before Abishai. I have a crack in my screen. It looked like an L, even though my mind said Abishai. I should have just said it. And when the children of Ammon saw that the Syrians were fled, they likewise fled before Abishai his brother, and entered into the city. Then Joab came to Jerusalem. And when the Syrians saw that they were put to the worse before Israel, they sent messengers and drew forth the Syrians that were beyond the river. And Shophach, the captain of the host of Hadarezer, went before them. And it was told David, and he gathered all Israel, and passed over Jordan, and came upon them, and set the battle in array against them. So when David had put the battle in array against the Syrians, they fought with him. But the Syrians fled before Israel, and David slew of the Syrians 7,000 men which fought in chariots, and 40,000 footmen, and killed Shophach, the captain of the host. And when the servants of Hadarezer saw that they were put to the worse before Israel, they made peace with David and became his servants. Neither would the Syrians help the children of Ammon anymore. I mean, and it came to pass that after the year was expired, at the time that the king, no, and blah, blah, blah. And it came to pass that after the year was expired, at the time that kings go out to battle, Joab led forth the power of the army and wasted the country of the children of Ammon and came and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried at Jerusalem, and Joab smote Rabbah and destroyed it. And David took the crown of their king from off his head and found it to weigh a talent of gold, and there were precious stones in it, and it was set upon David's head. And he brought also exceeding much spoil out of the city. And he brought out the people that were in it, and cut them with saws and with harrows of iron and with axes. Even so dealt David with all the cities of the children of Ammon, and David and all the people returned to Jerusalem. And it came to pass after this that there arose war at Gezer with the Philistines, at which time Sibbechai the Hushathite slew Sippai that was of the children of the giant, and they were subdued. And there was war again with the Philistines, and Elhanan the son of Jair slew Lami the brother of Goliath the Gittite, whose spear staff was like a weaver's beam. And yet again there was war at Gath, where was a man of great stature, whose fingers and toes were 24, 6 on each hand and 6 on each foot, and he also was the son of the giant. But when he defied Israel, Jonathan the son of Shimera, my mind said Jonathan and then Joster. I tried not to say it out loud this time, and it just happened on its own. Hold on. But when he defied Israel, Jonathan the son of Shimea, David's brother, slew him. These were born unto the giant in Gath, and they fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants. Lord. Oh, what you gonna wear? Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. It just went south from there. Anyway, just get that out of my face. So let's just have a moment to say how precious it is to have a good time when you are doing anything. That's funny because I never know what's going to come out of my mouth, sometimes before we say it, especially in moments like these, because, we're wondering, like, what are we going to pray for? What is it? We're not basic, you know what I mean? Even if it's, like, what we say might sound more basic than basic might be, we're not just being like, oh, okay, let's put our hands together in prayer. And even though that's not wrong or anything, that's why we changed the voice back to a regular one instead of making it a preacher's voice, because that's not what we're here for. Primarily, we just want people to really understand how important it is to actually feel purpose when you're doing something. How do I even say this right now? People really did used to get upset with us. My significant other, he specifically said, not everything has to have meaning, Mia. And he was really flustered because that was when we really were like understanding that meaning was so important. And of course, we also have those moments where we mean to not have meaning in things, and so we make sure to enjoy that moment just as much as possible because we're enjoying it. It's for like the purpose of enjoying it, and not for the purpose of just doing it. And even if we're just doing something, it is for the purpose of doing it and having fun with it, or because it needs to be done or something like that. Like, there's always a reason why we do something. There will never, ever not be a reason why. we do something. So I just wanted to let you know how important it is to have purpose, literally to have purpose in every single thing that you do, every breath that you take. That is something we speak about very often as well. Our energy is always doing something, and that is how we're able to upgrade who we are in a matter of seconds. And it's just something that people don't really truly understand, that is so important. Even, like I said, even when we're listening to music, especially when we're listening to music, literally anything that we have on our phone, anything, any type of social media that we choose to partake in, because we wouldn't have social media if it wasn't for this whole situation. We had ghosted ourselves from social media and deleted our Facebook, and I think we had an Instagram. Yeah, we did. We tried it. We didn't have anything to say. We didn't have anything to put up. We didn't know how to take pictures. We didn't know how to smile. Like, it just was like, why are we even here? Like, why? What are we trying to prove here? So, and I'm not the type to want to put all my business out there either. And so it is a lot different now, because I'm like, I don't know how to tell people if I'm going through something now, because like, we know that we don't even tell people in our like physical reality, let alone electronically, like what's going on. And the people closest to us don't even know what's going on because they choose not to. So we don't tell anybody anything that we wouldn't tell everybody. And if we told somebody else that is close to us, our family members, then we would, it'd be different. And even then, we tell them, we're very open with them. It's just different. It's just completely different. I don't know how to explain that right now. But meaning and having purpose and having a reason. There are people that post things that they really want people to understand that they need help, they need acknowledgement, encouragement. And, instead of airing out your dirty laundry, just simply say that you really do need someone to speak to. And if it's someone that you feel like you can actually trust, discernment is very important. Like I said, purpose. Because some people will tell you everything about themselves and they don't even know that they trust you or not. Now, I'm a different person. My energy is different. Empaths are very receiving. We'll just say it like that, because that's kind of our thing. We're all empaths to a certain degree, but you get what I mean by an empath. Where those people will automatically just tell us their whole life story. And in that, I say, if you don't feel actually drawn to listening to that story, make sure that you learn how to cut that off. Don't let people be energy vampires to you. It's not worth it for anybody, them or you. They're just going to dump it off on you and keep it moving, and they're going to gather up more problems too. And then what? Now you just I don't want to use the term, now you look like a trash can, but like, I bet you feel like one. And that shouldn't be the case. It should be mutual. It should be good. And same thing with relationships. People like to say, oh, it should be, there are a lot of ups and downs in relationships, and that's very true. But when it comes down to it, do you even feel like it's worth it anymore, or do you just feel like you don't want to be alone? And this is coming from someone who is eternally bound to someone who they truly love, because they have so many options out here and they can do whatever they want, but we are still choosing to be bound to this person because we truly love them. But that doesn't mean that we feed into the negativity that they've had to overcome in order to be closer to the light in general. We don't talk to them anymore, but that doesn't mean anything, And it's not like we've closed ourselves off to the light or love or anything different changing in our lives. We're open for understanding who we are supposed to be. And we also have a knowing, so that does help. Some people don't have a knowing, so it's difficult, but you get the point. We know our reasons for wanting to be with this person, and not only wanting to be with this person as to why this person is our person, and it's not happening any other way. All right.